Hello, welcome. This is Michelle with PaperStampInk. Thanks so much for stopping by my channel today, which is about all things paper crafting. So today I have a great project to share with you, but before we get into that, I want to remind you, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. And if you like what you're seeing, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate the feedback. Let me know what you've been working on. And if you want to come over and join my crafty community on Facebook, I'm going to put a link for that below as well. So today's card is a triple pocket fun fold, and this is so quick and easy. Great card for showing off your designer series paper, all the patterns. I mean, you get to show off both sides. And so get that beautiful pattern paper out, stop hoarding it, share it with others, and let's make one of these cards together today. Okay, let's get into making today's card. So I have a piece of 8.5 by 11 inch pattern paper, and I find that this works best if you've got non-directional double-sided paper. Now, you don't have to have the double-sided paper. If you don't, you're just going to have one side that has white. And if it's non-directional, you're really going to have to think a lot harder about which way you're folding that paper. So I like easy crafting, so find some non-directional pattern paper and you will be much happier with that result. The other pieces of paper that I'm going to use are, I have a piece of the Mossy Meadow cardstock. This is 3 3/4 by 5 inches, and I have already used my corner chomper, and I'll put a link to that below to chomp the corners of these pieces here. And then I have a piece of Whisper White that is 3.5 by 4 3/4. I then have another piece of Mossy Meadow that is 2.5 by 4 3/4 that has been punched by a tag topper, and a piece that is 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. And then I have another tag base that is 2.5 by 4. That's also been used a tag topper, and 2.5 by 2.5. So these measurements are going to vary depending on what kind of tag toppers you have or what you want to put in your pockets. You can definitely vary, but that's the dimensions that I used for my project. And then I have a couple of scrap pieces of paper here as well for my sentiment on the front panel. All right, so we are going to start by simply folding this paper in half. And let's make sure we got those lined up well, because we do want to make sure we've got some nice straight folds. And I am just going to finger crease that. I'm going to open that up, and then I'm going to take and fold it the other direction. And I've got my camera up a little higher than normal to hopefully be able to get this this whole thing in screen here. So we'll just reinforce those folds a couple of times. Make sure we've got them folded nice and neat. And then I'm going to open this up because I want more of the black to be showing on the front. So whichever one you want to be your primary pattern, you want to start with that face down. And now here is where we're just going to fold this bottom corner up, and you can see this, let me fold this in. I'm going to have a couple different folds so you can see where that crease is right there. And sometimes on your pattern paper, that's the hardest part, is being able to see exactly where those creases are. So if you need a trick, go ahead and fold it up so that you can see. We want to make sure we're staying just to the side of that crease for our first fold. All right. Now I'm going to take this fold and I'm going to fold this over, and I am not even really measuring this. If you wanted to, I mean, I guess I'm going about 3 inches. So if you really wanted to, you could line your paper up with some good paper. You could put a little tick mark, but this doesn't have to be exact. But I do want this to be as straight as possible with that fold. reinforce some of these folds again here. All right, now there's our front pocket. There's our second pocket. So we've got this laid out here with this up in this corner. I'm going to bring this piece up, and there's that pocket, and I'm going to fold that back side around, and here's where we're going to just make sure our corners are lined up well, and if we need to do any adjusting on our folds, we'll do that here. And if you get a little off, just come and trim that piece off, because it can be a little easy to get just a slight hair off, and nobody's ever going to notice if that's trimmed. So I'll go grab my long-handled scissors, and we'll just give that a little shave before we get started. We've got some on the back and some on the front, or you can come in with your paper trimmer. I'm going to get down to the bottom here. I've got a few layers to cut through, but there we go. Now we're all nice and squared up. Now you could stop right here and have just the 2 pockets, or take it if you want more of that pattern paper, and that's what I like to see, is more variation. We're going to do 3 pockets on this one. So I'm just going to fold that one in. Again, not precise measurements, but I do want that a little more even. So there we go. Give that a second crease. So you can do those as small or as large as you want. Now we do need to do a little bit of gluing. Let's just come in here, and we're going to put a bead of glue along that edge. Hold that pocket in. And then we're going to put some glue on this edge and along the bottom, because we want to make that a full pocket. We don't want things sliding out of the bottom there. And then we've just got this little tab to put adhesive on there. All right, so while we're letting that set and dry, we'll go ahead and move on to our tags. So I wanted this card to go to somebody who I really admire, who I just wanted to give some encouragement. And so I brought in the Strong and Beautiful stamp set, and I love this for all of the encouraging phrases on it. And then I just wanted some kind of background, so I brought in this little twig from the Rooted in Nature. So just very very simple stamping we're going to be doing today. And let's see, let's go ahead and do our front sentiment first. I'm going to use basic black for the sentiment. On my scrap pieces here. I just love this phrase: to the woman who does it all with grace and wisdom. And stamp that down, and I'm going to use my label punch to punch this out. I really wanted to use a circle punch, but I didn't want this gigantic circle on the front, and I really wanted to use this sentiment. So we're going to go with the label punch. Let's go ahead and punch out a mossy meadow background there as well. Get that stamping done. On this one, I just want to say, you're amazing, and that's a fact. All right, here's the tricky part without getting my head in the camera. And I think I'm actually going to put this right kind of in the middle, because I'm not going to plan on writing anything on this panel. I just want to have my sentiment there, and Then on this one, you have what it takes to be unstoppable. I couldn't be more proud. And again, I'm just gonna stamp that kind of into the middle there. And that is all the Memento black that we need. And I didn't want to go too dark with this, so I'm gonna do some stamping off and just bring in that little added touch so we don't have a lot of blank spaces there. Do the same on this one. There's our two tags, and then this is the panel that I'm gonna be writing my message on, so I want to leave that fairly open, but we're going to come in and do a little decorating on this one as well. I thought I'd just kind of go up the sides, or the one side there, and I think I like that. That leaves me plenty of room to write a message of encouragement. All right, now a little bit of glue, a little bit of ribbon, and we are almost done. This is such a quick and easy, fun fold. I love showcasing all of the pattern paper, as you guys know. And so this is a fun one to do that, because we definitely get to show a lot of that. So I'm going to slide that into that back panel there. It's a little cozy fit. Now let's glue these down. One more. Then I've got some about 6-inch strips of ribbon to put through these tags. Dress them up a little bit here. You could do these, thicker or thinner, as long as they fit in the pocket. You could use those pockets to put, of course, a gift card, or maybe a little tea bag or coffee, one of those instant coffee packs. There's lots of fun things you could do with those pockets, or just several notes. It's also great for if you've got, say, a birthday for a big office or group of people, because you can just put several tags in there for people to write their notes on. I'm going to come and trim up my edges. For my ribbon, I like to give them that nice little angle cut. More of an angle, there we go. That one's going to go in the front pocket. We've got our middle pocket, and then we've got our sentiment. And I'm going to mat this by just cutting that in half and adhering it to the back of this. So that's going to give me a little bit of that green popping out on both sides there. I like that look. And I couldn't decide. I've got some ribbon, so I don't know. Let me know what you think. We can leave that as is, or we can come in here and put some ribbon behind. I think I'm going to do the ribbon behind. So let me get a little piece of score tape, and I want to make sure I'm leaving plenty of ribbon to tie, because I need lots of ribbon to tie. So I'm going to come on the back here, put a little piece of my score tape just to kind of hold that in place so it's not wanting to shift up and down on the card. So you don't need a whole lot of that, just a little bit to give it an anchor point. And I think I've got probably about 18, 20 inches of ribbon here. And we're gonna go for a simple bow. And shorten those up. I know some of you are really good at bow tying. I'm pretty happy with this one. For me, this is a win. A one-shot bow tying. Angle those edges, and we're going to use a little bit of the foam tape to pop the sentiment up. And cut a couple of strips here. I think I got that one a little long. Let's give it a shave there. And then we are just about done. So I hope that you enjoyed this project. I think that this is a card that anybody would love to get. It's always impressive. And, you know, stop hoarding that pattern paper. Get out there and do some of these triple or double pocket fold cards and showcase that paper. Let someone enjoy one of your beautiful handmade cards. And there we go. That is our card for today. So remember, if you enjoyed this, make sure you hit subscribe below. Give me a thumbs up. Giving me thumbs up, commenting on my videos helps more people to see it on YouTube and helps me to bring you more of these projects. Until we talk again, grab your paper, stamp, and ink and do something creative.